Hello and welcome to another day on Cornwall Pocket Farm, where I try and figure out how to live sustainably on 300 square metres in the city. Today I'm doing a bit of a mini fabric haul to it's a sort of an extra. An extra fabric haul because of course I did the original fabric haul for my original capsule wardrobe. And well, I've peaked too soon really. I mean, I still have 3 weeks until my trip. You'll have to excuse the lighting because we are having the weirdest weather today. We have had hail, I mean big hailstones, we've had rain, we've got high winds, we've also got sun. I've got some washing on the line, probably a mistake, so I'm trying to keep out of the sun. There's a little bit coming over here, but I really can't do anything about it, so we'll have to work with what we've got, as always. So I've been doing a little bit of research online about capsule wardrobes. I started off doing some research about sort of the content and what should sort of, the vibe, the colours, how everything would work together and that type of thing. But I have also done some research on the components, the garments, the elements that should be in a capsule wardrobe. As I said in my previous video, not hugely useful in some situations because they generally just say you need jeans, more jeans, a few pairs of trousers, and a dress. And that's not the type of thing that I generally wear. So I wasn't looking so much at the items that should be in a capsule wardrobe, but more the quantities. Because at the moment I've made 3 tops, 3 skirts and 2 jackets. Plus, of course, the Charlie blouse and the dress, the best dress that I'm going to wear to my daughter's Western wedding. Now that wedding is at the end of our trip. So essentially I can't wear that dress sort of before the wedding. It would sort of feel wrong to wear the dress before the wedding and then wear it to the wedding. So realistically that dress isn't really part of my capsule wardrobe for travelling. And of course the Charlie blouse, I'm not really going to wear that apart from with the sari, of course. So that as I say, I've got 3 tops, 3 skirts and 2 jackets at the moment. I am or have been sewing some trousers as well, and you'll have to wait for next week's video to find out about the absolute disaster. The chaos, the craziness, the hiccups, whatever you want to call it. Oh dear. Anyway, that video will be out next week and all will be explained. But in the meantime, I thought I would do a little bit of a mini fabric haul because I decided that I needed more tops. Obviously, if I've made some extra trousers as well, that means that I've got more bottoms than tops. There's a couple of bits of fabric that have sort of arrived in my possession over the last few weeks, and I thought I'd share them with you. But first, let's have a little look at what Google says. So according to WikiHow, in your capsule wardrobe, you should have about 10 to 12 shirts. Well, at the moment, I've only got 3, and that's probably not enough. It says you should have 2 to 4 blazers or cardigans. I have, obviously, the 2 jackets, so we're about right there. And then it says you should have 6 different bottoms. So at the moment I have 3 skirts and the trousers. So that's 4. So not too far there. Please excuse me, I've got an allergy. I've obviously just been getting this fabric out and the dust has come up and I have a dust allergy, so my nose just goes mad for no apparent reason. But anyway, back to this. So essentially what it looks like here, we're supposed to have 30 to 40 items altogether, and that obviously is including sleepwear and gym gear and all that sort of gear. So looking at this, the glaring hole that I see is the 10 to 12 shirts, because clearly I only have 3 and that isn't enough. I'm sort of in the ballpark for bottoms with the skirts and the trousers and also the overtops, the jackets. I'm in the right number there, but blouses and tops really short. So I thought I needed to make some extra tops to complete this capsule wardrobe. Obviously I only have a few weeks left until I go, so my plan is to essentially see how many tops I can make in a weekend. I have a long weekend coming up. It's King's birthday weekend for us, which is a public holiday. So I've got 3 days and I'm going to see how many tops I can make in those 3 days. So that will be another video coming up soon on this channel. But I thought I would show you the fabrics and bits and pieces that I've got for those projects to see how many of these I can actually make. The sun is really coming in at a funny angle. The sun is not actually coming into the windows. What it's doing is it's bouncing off something over there and then ricocheting into this room. So I'm really hoping it's not causing too much of a problem. Anyway, let's start with the fabrics. Okay, so this is the first fabric. And this fabric was actually a remnant. I was actually in a fabric shop with my daughter. I wasn't going to buy any fabric at all. And my daughter found this fabric and she said, "Oh Mum, this is just the same colour as your Carmen suit." And it is actually a perfect match. So I thought, well, I couldn't leave that behind because I think it was $9 and it's just over a metre, I think. And I thought, wow, that's a really good deal. And it matches so perfectly that I just could not buy it. Now I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make with this. I've seen a few Pinterest images, which it's a sort of a stiffish cotton. It's quite fine, but it's not terribly drapey. So I think what I'm thinking is something along these lines, something sort of simple. I mean, well, all the tops are going to be simple, to be honest, because I really don't have that much time. So I'm thinking a grown-on sleeve, wide neck, some sort of detail at the neckline, but something along these lines I think would be good with this cotton. Now all of these tops that I'm going to make are going to be pullover. I'm going to basically pull them over my head, so they're not going to be hugely tailored, although I have to say I'm blessed with a fairly small boobage, which means that I can actually squeeze on quite a lot of tops over my head. Again, I have narrow shoulders, so it's really quite helpful when you're trying to get tops over the top of your head without side zips and back closings or buttons or anything like that. I can probably squeeze most of them over my head. So the idea is to make them so I can just make them as pullovers essentially. So this I think is going to be a fairly simple top, wide neck, bit of detail, maybe a short sleeve top. Okay, so the next fabric is this gingham. I think it's a gingham, is that what you call it? But I think it will look really nice with the Carmen skirt and also with the Audrey skirt. It might be a bit of a stretch for the Julie skirt, but I also think it will go nicely with the trousers. So I thought, well, it's quite a sort of a classic look, that gingham. Not quite sure what I'll do with this, but I do have a top which I really like, and I think I was wearing it, yes, in the reveal, the first reveal that I did with the Audrey skirt, I was wearing that top. Now I have had that top forever. It's a Ralph Lauren top. I originally bought it in some sort of recycle boutique, I think it was, a million years ago, and I've worn it and loved it. So, but it's quite worn now and faded, and I want to make a clone of it. So the idea is to try and maybe make a clone of it with this fabric. Not certain yet, but that's my plan at this point. This fabric is the linen, is the same linen as I have used for the Audrey and also the Carmen suits. I went into Spotlight and they had a really good sale on all of their linens because it's the end of season. It's a very lightweight, fine linen, and I just loved this colour. I thought it was so gorgeous. So I bought these for another pair of trousers. It might be quite useful to have another pair of trousers, but rather than doing the standard fit trousers that I usually do, they're wide-legged, but they're still sort of more of a fitted trouser, I thought what I'd like to do is some sort of beach pyjamas. I've seen them on Pinterest. There's a picture of Coco Chanel. I think she was the originator of this idea in the late 20s, I think, when basically down on the Mediterranean they started to wear these beach pyjamas, and then it sort of went into the towns and that sort of thing. So they're sort of, I suppose nowadays we would probably call them a palazzo pant or something like that. But yeah, sort of beach pyjamas, 1920s style is what I've got in mind. So I thought I'd use some more of this linen. The pattern I've got in mind is sort of like almost like part culotte, part my original trouser block, and to make a really wide leg trouser, which is a bit like a culotte. That's the plan at this stage anyways. The next fabric I have is just some really plain white voile. It's really lightweight cotton, quite see-through, So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work that. There may be some pockets in some very judicious placement, shall we say. So I think a white shirt that would go with all of the outfits would be really, really useful. It's a really sort of basic staple item, and I think it would just add a sort of freshness to the skirts that I've already made. And of course it would go with all three skirts and also the trousers, probably both pairs of trousers. I think that would be really nice. And there's another one. Now these fabrics that I've shown you, they've all been sort of really very well priced. The gingham was on sale, like the linen. They were basically had a big sale on all of their summer fabrics to get rid of them. So I got this for a very good price. Now this fabric, expensive. This fabric is a beautiful print. It's got the blue of the Audrey suit. It's got a sort of a pink, maroony pink, which picks up the carmine. It's got the green, a sort of a sage green, which is sort of my other colour in there as well. Absolutely beautiful. I just thought it would go with so many things in my wardrobe. It's a Liberty Tana lawn. It wasn't on sale, it was full price. $45 a metre, which was quite pricey. So I ended up just getting 0.7 of a metre. But I loved it so much I thought I've got to buy it. So obviously this is going to be a fairly simple and fairly small top, I think. But I just thought it was so lovely and would go really nicely with my skirt. So a little piece of it had to come home with me. So I did splash out a bit on this one. Yeah, so that's 4 tops, 4 extra tops and another pair of trousers. So if I manage to make all of these, if I manage to make 4 tops in a weekend, I don't know about that, but if I managed to make 4 tops in a weekend, that would give me the 3 skirts that I've already made, 2 pairs of trousers, so that's 5 bottoms. It would give me the 3 tops that I've already made, plus an extra 4, which would be 7 tops. And then of course I've still got the 2 jackets. And the other thing that I'm going to take is I have made previously, before I started to video my makes, I did actually make a Jennifer Lauren juniper cardigan in a sort of a maroony red merino, and it's a really nice match actually with the linen of the carmine. So I'm going to take that cardigan as well, so that gives me 2 jackets and a cardigan. I think that'll probably be enough. So all I've got to make before I go now is 2 pairs of trousers, 2 pairs of trousers and 4 more tops. How hard can it be? So I'm going to try and do the 4 tops in one weekend, a long weekend which is coming up. And I have actually attempted to make the 2 pairs of trousers last weekend. So that'll be coming out next week, and you'll be able to see the, should we call them hurdles? Yeah, roadblocks. Hurdles, I think, that I encountered along the way, shall we say. And you'll be able to see my progress on those 2 pairs of trousers. Oh, and there's this one as well. Isn't this gorgeous? The colours are just so beautiful, and it goes really nicely with my outfits. And yeah, so I found this one and I thought, well, this would go really nicely too. So now I found this fabric. The new thing is I'm aiming for 5 tops in a weekend. Yes, it's a bit mad, isn't it? So I'll leave it there. I just wanted to give you a quick update on the extra bits of fabric that I got, the plans going forward, the mad craziness that I have set myself in my last few weeks of sewing. Anyway, I'll say goodbye for now because I've got some sewing to do. Bye.